We are actually geniuses when we are born until we enter the school system, Common Core. This article is by Fattima Mahdi, October from 2017 from the Truth Theory website. Links are below. In 1968, Professor George Land and Beth Jarman were contacted by NASA and asked to devise a creativity test to help selective, innovative engineers and scientists. The assessment was a huge success. The test worked so well and was so simple that the duo then came up with a creativity test for children. The test was to look at a problem and come up with new, different, innovative ideas. They tested 1,600 children between the ages of 4 and 5 and were amazed by the results. Out of the 1,600 children who took the test, 98% of them scored at genius level. Land and Jarman then decided to measure the children's progress over time. They turned the research into a longitudinal study and tested the same children again at 10 years old. By this point, only 30% of children were at genius level. They then tested the children at 15 years old and found that only 12% were at genius level. It is important to note that the same creativity test was given to 280,000 adults. Average age of 31 years old, and the genius level was at 2%. Man, there's a lot of dumb people out there. According to Land, the primary reason for the rapid reduction in creativity was due to the fact that the schools teach children to try and use both convergent and divergent thinking at the same time. Convergent thinking is where you judge ideas, criticize them, refine them, combine them, and improve them, all of which happens in your conscious thought. That's how I think. Divergent thinking is where you imagine new ideas, original ones, which are different from what has come before, but which may be rough to start with and which often happens subconsciously. I'm open to that thinking as well. But first, I question, I judge, and I criticize and refine and combine and improve. I'm convergent. Land explains that it is impossible for children to use both kinds of thinking at once, as competing neurons in the brain will be fighting with each other. Land also provides solutions and suggests that if people are allowed to split their thinking processes into various states, they would be more effective in their ability to be creative. All right, in this article, there is a video from a TED Talk in Tucson where George Land is talking about the failure of success of the education system. Let me back up here in this article. When they tested these children at 4 to 5 years old, 98% of them scored at genius level. When they tested them 5 years later at 10 years old, 30% were genius level. And when they tested them 5 years later at 15 years old, only 12% were at genius level. And then the adult study of 280,000 adults of the average age of 31, which sounds like a great sample. And the genius level was 2%. What happened? You're a genius at age 4. You go into school and then you grow up and you become down to 2%. I think you're taught lies, theories that aren't proven, perceptions. You're taught to conform. You're taught what's the major structure of thought by your elite status of power and engagement of your military, banking, economic, political, and religious structures, with medicine, which is allopathy, which is doing something to harm your body to quit something else that's harming your body worse. Oh, what is wrong with this world? Thank you for coming to Plain Mundane Show to talk about being a genius before you enter the education system. I'm Alex Aquarius. Please hit like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I'm out.